just because I ask a friend about her, just because I spoke her name somewhere, just because I rang her number by mistake today. She thinks I still care, just because I haunt the same old places where the memory of her lingers everywhere. Just because I'm not the happy guy I used to be, she thinks I still care. But if she's happy thinking I still miss her, then let that silly notion bring her cheek. How could she ever be so foolish? Oh, where she gets such an idea? Just because I ask a friend about her, just because I spoke her name somewhere, just because I saw her then went all to pieces, she thinks I still care. She thinks I still care. All right, good evening, everyone. Tonight I'm featuring George Jones. This is singer-songwriter, series number 43 of my favorites. Still doing folks that were born in the 20th century and died in the last 20 years. So George Jones was born in Texas in 1931 and lived till 2013. He didn't really write many songs. He mostly was an interpreter of songs, and for many people considered the greatest country music singer of all time, especially, I'd say, a male singer. That one was written by Dickie Lee and Steve Duffy. She Thinks I Still Care. Covered by many, many people, many female artists like Connie Francis and others did it, and they changed it to He Thinks I Still Care. So, very fun, sentimental song. So, all right, the next one is really upbeat and kind of lively and fun, and this is a big shout out to my friend Johnny Hartigan and our days back in Ann Arbor when he used to do this song and introduced me to it. Big hit for George Jones. I think he did it at every live show. Written by a guy named Don Rollins. It's called The Race Is On, and the story is that Don went to the racetrack somewhere down around Phoenix, Arizona, and listened to the announcers and watched the races, and then the next day wrote this song thinking about how the game of love is kind of like a horse race. And I get a big kick out of the chorus. You don't really realize it until you're actually looking at the lyrics and seeing which words are capitalized. But as you listen to the song in the chorus, think about all the different images of the horses. So pride is one of them, heartaches is one of them, my tears is another, my heart and true love are all the horses that are in this race. And the winner loses all. All right, the race is on. So great song. I feel tears welling up cold deep inside my heart, sprung a big break. I stab a loneliness sharp and painful that I never shake. You might say I was taking it hard since you wrote me off with a call, but don't you wait till I hide the sorrow, I might break right down and bawl. Now the race is on and now the race is on and here comes pride up the backstretch. Heartaches are going to the inside, my tears are holding back there, trying not to fall. My heart's out of the running, true love scratched for another's sake. The race is on and it looks like heartaches, and the winner loses all. One day I ventured in love, never once suspecting what the final result would be. How I lived in fear, waking up each morning and finding that you're gone from me. There's ache and pain in my heart, for today was the one that I hated to face. Somebody new came to winner, I came out second place. Oh, the race is on and here comes pride up the backstretch. Heartaches are going to the inside, my tears are holding back there, trying not to fall. My heart's out of the running, true love scratched for another's sake. The race is on and it looks like heartaches, and the winner loses all. Oh, the race is on and here comes pride up the backstretch. Heartaches are going to the inside, my tears are holding back there, trying not to fall. My heart's out of the running, true love scratched for another's sake. The race is on and it looks like heartaches, and the winner loses all. All right, my friend David Isaacson says that when he saw George Jones in Grant Park in Chicago, yes, he did indeed do that song in the live concert. I never got to see George Jones, but lots of great stories about him. Unfortunately, he had a big problem with drinking and drugs, and for many years they called him No-Show Jones because of so many times when he wasn't able to make an appearance, and you know, the promoters lost a lot of money, etc. So another story, famous story about George is that he had his license revoked for you know, DWIs and all that kind of stuff, and he lived out in the country in Tennessee outside of Nashville, and at one point he actually drove his riding mower like 10 miles on the highway into town just, you know, to buy some booze. So but it became kind of an icon and a legend for it. So what a guy. So George Jones, just, you know, a golden voice. I went back years ago after I read Bill Malone's Country Music USA book and checked out a bunch of CDs from the library, and I listened to some of his early stuff, and he basically just tried to sound like Hank Williams for a long time, and I think his first big hit was White Lightning, you know, like, you know, so, but, all right, what else to say about George Jones? Just, the last song I'm going to do, by many different polls, was voted the #1 country music song of all time, and it's a great one. Written by Bobby Braddock, famous singer-songwriter, and Curly Putman. So it's called He Stopped Loving Her Today. It has an amazing you know, production to it, a full string orchestra and the Jordanaires singing harmony. So, you know, just because I have a violin, I have to try to recreate a little bit of that feeling. So, he said, I love you till I die. He said, oh, you'll forget in time. As the years went slowly by, he still preyed upon his mind. He kept her picture on his wall. He went crazy now and then. He still loved her through it all, hoping she'd come back again. Kept some letters by his bed, dated 1962. He had underlined in red every single I love you. I went to see him just today, oh, but I didn't see no tears. All dressed up to go away. First time I'd seen him smile in years. He stopped loving her today. They placed a wreath upon his door. Soon they'll they'll carry him away. He stopped loving her today. You know, she came to see him one last time. Oh, and we all wondered if she would. And it kept running through my mind. This time, he's over her for good. He stopped loving her today. They placed a wreath upon his door. Soon they'll carry him away. He stopped loving her today. He stopped loving her today. They placed a wreath upon his door. Soon they'll carry him away. He stopped loving her today. All right, my little tribute to the great singing of George Jones. All right, thanks everyone. Who's up next? It's Pete Seeger. It's finally time for good old Pete. Yeah, lived to the ripe old age of 94. So, got 3 of my favorite songs to do. Not particularly, you know, 2 of them are not particularly well known or popular, but my favorites. So, Old Devil Time. That I learned from the singing of Claudia Schmidt. A beautiful song called Sailing Down My Golden River, and then his ever-popular anti-war ballad, Where Have All the Flowers Gone? So I hope you can join me on Tuesday evening for show number 44, Pete Seeger. Take care, everyone. I love you. Hope you're doing well, and see you next time. Thanks for listening.